So please do investigation 2 on page 284 before you start this example. So in example number 1, we see these terms that look very complicated and we're supposed to combine them. So add or subtract on these cases. So remember the rule that we talked about earlier, they have to be the same radicand and index. Well, it looks like they all have the same index here, but they don't seem to have the same radicand. So when you see these higher numbers, the first thing that you should do is to simplify each of these terms. So before you can even decide which one you can combine, you have to simplify them in their lowest terms. So I'm going to do example number B and C here. In B, 96 and 24 are really big numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my perfect square table and try to divide them with their biggest perfect square that I can find. So this one will break down as 16 and 6. And when I'm doing these tough questions, I like to finish one term before starting the next one. So this one becomes 4 root 6. I'm done with this one here. I'm going to do the same thing now with root 24. So this is a negative sign, and then 24 can be written as root 4. Always write your perfect square first, times root 6. Root 4 ends up becoming a 2 root 6. Now you can see that these are two terms with the same radicand and index. So I'm going to take their coefficients and combine them. Positive 4 and negative 2 end up becoming 2 root 6. So like I said, you won't be able to tell when you look at the question at first whether it's adding, subtracting. You first is always going to be simplifying. So that's why the first lesson in radicals, the simplifying of radical numbers, is so important, because it becomes the basis of everything that you do in this unit. So we're going to do the same thing now for the next one here. So in this one, again, one by one. So this seems to have a coefficient in front. So I'm going to leave that coefficient where it is, 6. But I'm going to break down root 75, which becomes 25 root 3. Now, don't worry if it's taking you a bit of time to do this. I'm looking at the answers and writing that out. So obviously I'm doing it really fast. But for you, it's going to take, if you can't think of right away, it does take a few tries to get the answer. So 6 is already a whole number. Don't do anything to that. It's a root 25 that we picked on purpose, which ends up becoming 5. And then root 3. So then this becomes 30 root 3. The first term is done. I'm going to move on to the next one. So for the next one here now, I have negative 3. It's going to stay as it is. But 48 is going to break down as root 16 root 3. Negative 3 comes down. Root 16 becomes a 4 root 3. And then that becomes negative 12 root 3. Almost done. Next one. So in the next one, if I pick this one here, it's positive 2. It will stay as it is. This will be root 9 root 3. And root 9 becomes a 3 root 3 plus 6 root 3. So now what do we have? Everything is root 3. So we're just going to take their coefficients and combine them according to their signs. So 30 minus 12 plus 6 will give me 24 root 3. Okay?